Rescuing people from the Mediterranean Sea is a completely new task for the German Navy. At the beginning of May, the combat support ship Berlin and the frigate Hessen set sail from Suda Bay in Crete. Equipped with everything they need to care for shipwrecked people, they head towards their area of operations south of Italy. During the journey, preparations continue. Portable toilets are installed on the helicopter deck and sun covers are set up in case people need to be rescued from the sea and taken on board. On its very first night, the frigate Hessen receives a distress call and both German ships head towards the specified location at full speed. Upon arrival, they encounter an Italian customs boat that has already taken 95 shipwrecked people on board. The Italians request medical assistance for a pregnant woman. A team of doctors sets out on a speedboat from the Hessen and attends to the patient. At 9 a.m. on day 2, the Hessen receives an emergency call from the Sea Rescue Control Center in Rome. It appears that there is a wooden boat in distress 50 kilometers north of the Libyan coast. The Hessen's commanding officer informs his crew.
Apparently there are about 200 shipwrecked people in a wooden boat. Reports suggest that the boat is taking on water, but there is no further information about the situation.
The German frigate heads over there at full speed. These people are adrift at sea, helpless and unprotected. The frigate's speedboat is deployed to make contact with the people at sea.
The hold is full of people.
Understood.
We have a pregnant woman and a man with breathing problems.
Shortly afterwards, the rescue mission begins. People move onto the life raft, which is then towed to the frigate. Once on board, the shipwrecked people are quickly examined and registered before being taken to the helicopter deck. Here, they are provided with water and blankets and are given a chance to rest. The rescue mission takes several hours. By the end, 224 people are safely aboard the Hessen.
I think my crew have done an excellent job. The first mission was very long and the weather conditions were poor. Some of the crew had to stay on the helicopter deck or in the boats in their protective clothing for up to 6 hours. It was not only mentally but also physically demanding to deal with these people who had been lost at sea. We had to get a large number of people on board and care for them.
The shipwrecked people also receive medical attention where necessary.
Some of them were suffering from headaches or nausea. Some of them needed transfusions, painkillers, or medication to reduce fever. That was all quite straightforward. Despite the suits, which must have looked strange to some of them, and the language barrier, it was possible to communicate quite easily. It was just a friendly atmosphere, I would say.
Afterwards, the rescued people are taken to Reggio Calabria in Italy. The combat support ship Berlin has also taken around 200 people on board, who are then taken to the Italian port and handed over to the Italian authorities. Both ships immediately return to the area of operations. Over the course of the following days, more and more people are found at sea. The Marines of the Sea Battalion's boarding company always approach the shipwrecked people first on their speedboat.
You imagine all sorts of things, and you ask yourself, what is waiting for me over there? How much misery and suffering will I be confronted with? Possibly dead bodies, or possibly bad people. You never know what you'll find on these boats.
But the shipwrecked people pose no danger. They are happy to be rescued.
My first impression was that you could see the gratitude in their eyes. They knew that we were there to help.
The 29th of May represents a significant day in the Mediterranean mission. The frigate Hessen finds a total of 7 boats in distress. There are dramatic scenes because one of the rubber boats is sinking and people have to be rescued from the water. The Marines work tirelessly on this day. By the evening, there are 880 shipwrecked people aboard the frigate, and they are very happy to be safe.
2 days on the water, around the water. Wind is like this one, again, like this one. We have died. I think if you are not help us, we are dead.
After 4 weeks, the frigate Hessen's mission is over, and the frigate Schleswig-Holstein takes over. It meets the Hessen in the port of Cagliari in Sardinia for the rescue mission changeover. The commanding officer of the Hessen takes stock.
For us in the Navy, it was an entirely new thing to engage in sea rescue missions on this scale. There was no tried and tested process for us to follow, so we had to come up with our own ideas in many situations and develop robust operating procedures. But when you see the images of people coming aboard and how grateful they are because they have been rescued from acute danger, we take that as immediate feedback. And of course, that really motivates you to keep going.
In the port of Cagliari, equipment is transferred from the Hessen to the Schleswig-Holstein, which then heads to the area of operations between Italy and Libya.
I want to save lives. That is exactly what I've set out to do. I believe that each life that we can protect or each person that we can save from drowning makes all the effort that is put into this mission worthwhile.
The frigate Hessen starts the journey home from Sardinia to Wilhelmshaven. Over the course of their deployment in the Mediterranean, the frigate Hessen and the combat support ship Berlin have rescued a total of more than 3,400 people at sea.